I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
in another episode
at the Simple Success Podcast.
And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Previously on Simple Success.
Behold the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. I shall not be able to do that, even from this beautiful corner table conceived by my robot script. And why is that not, my liege?
And now, just like with a previously on thing on TV, we take you directly to this week's episode.
Hello, everyone.
Hiya, Ruth.
Yeah, hello there.
Oh, I just love the smell of stillness and profit in the morning. And I, as I lean back in my chair, a serene look in my eyes, I just love the sound of soft jazz playing in the background. Hear that? I do.
You too can make a podcast. Come along and see podcast with our help and guidance.
DT, have you ever thought about the power of stillness? Stillness is the key.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yes, I did, Karen. Hey, DT, it's in those quiet moments that we often connect with our true selves. Okay, this is sounding good. Go on then. Oh, much obliged, my obligatory contract with rabbits. Right, no problem there. And also, remember what Bob Proctor said about thoughts becoming things? I do. And connect us to that, if you would, please. I shall. Stillness is the breeding ground for those thoughts. Sure, John, but stillness must also lead to profit, right? I mean, if it's not, it's just a fancy way of saying we should sit around and meditate while the world moves on. Then, of course, we don't do that, and fancy I don't really know about, but I do know that it is patience, and it is proven. How is it proven? I mean, I just don't see how a Zen mindset translates to financial independence. Oh, okay. Well, let me help with that. Have you ever heard of Fabius, the Roman general? Yeah, I'm flipping through my history here. Yeah, that's the one that was dispatched to beat Hannibal. Yes, that is right, you reader ahead of scripts. And even more, Fabius was eventually disgraced, even though he was right.
He said thoughtfully.
Okay, but why was that? It's because being patient was his whole strategy. It was? Yeah, to wait out the thing, to respond and not react.
Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Okay, so Hannibal was far from his home and losing people to the elements. Fabius figured out that if he just waited things out, Hannibal would probably go away. But that didn't happen, I'm guessing. Guessing? Not reading ahead this time? Go on. No, it didn't happen, DT. You guessed right. Everybody thought Fabius was being a coward instead of just showing deliberate restraint like he was.
When they should have thought Sun Tzu, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, ZU. We must know when to step back and observe. And in stillness, we can find clarity, and with clarity comes strategy and success.
So we must find the quiet stillness in our minds.
Simply. I don't know. I mean, that's very fluffy and all, guys. I suppose you're about to say that it makes financial planning better? I am. And not just financial planning, but everything we do. Do. Yeah, got it. Doing and not just knowing. But is clarity really enough? Can't we just plan and hustle like everyone else? Sure we can. I certainly have. And probably lots of listeners have as well. But I sense concern from you about that. And that would be because it is often very important to not be like everyone else. Like when? Like when we just hustle around without knowing why, without being quiet. Oh, gotcha. So we should just bang around and love all the noise. That's what doing instead of just knowing is really about, huh?
Down, boy.
It's okay, Jessica. It's easy to get lost in the noise.
So we'll just do nothing then, right?
No, stillness doesn't mean inaction. Rather, it's selective action.
About which I'm guessing you've got another great quote.
I do. And it's from none other than Dr. Joseph Murphy, who said, "Your subconscious mind is a storehouse of unlimited potential."
So this is how we connect. Just doing it with the stillness we need to just do it.
Yes, that's right. In those quiet moments, we align our intentions with our actions.
So we're not just making important financial decisions in a rush?
Oh, no. We're going in silence deep, where shadows hush.
Oh, the world slows down to a gentle rush.
And we have a tranquil heart, full of the mind's sweet flush.
And that place in stillness held, where we find our sun.
Two souls entwined, breathing.
Break number 1. I'm not trying to make doubting Thomases out of y'all.
Yet you cannot tell a lie.
Hey, George Washington is nigh?
Obviously not.
Nor is it time for the rhyme.
But it is time for something.
It is?
Yes, it is.
It's time to learn.
Learn about what?
Why, DT, it's time to learn about a sponsor. You know, what they make, what they do.
Before we even get to act number 2?
Well, yes, indeed, my friend. As our editor knows.
This is the place where your message goes.
We can plug it right in
To the story we tell.
so that no one fast forwards.
Except from your well.
We can build it ourselves.
With approval from you.
Taking action will do it.
Not bragging, it's true.
Starting something instead. And taking action, as you just said.
Based on your beliefs.
Yeah, but still not just knowing, but also doing.
And as I've been saying about goals. No, sorry. Getting what you want without limiting the rights of others.
That's correct, Matthew. Or yucking their yum, as is said. But still, it has to be
based on your beliefs.
Which includes the idea that stillness is a great strategy.
It is. And what a way to weigh your options with a strategic pause. Hey, Jessica, can you give us one of those?
Inserting strategic pause of 2 seconds. Okay, resume.
Thank you very much. In those moments of introspection, DT, you might uncover an unmet need or a new market to tap into.
Okay, stillness is a strategy so we can hear ourselves better. Got it. But what about timing? Isn't it all about timing and finance?
Well, yeah, it is, and timing is kind of vital, although we have to be careful to not be reactionary with our timing. And guess what? Stillness helps with that, because it helps you calibrate your internal clock.
When you're calm, you make rational choices rather than emotional ones.
That's right, Matthew. It's a crucial skill in any field, but especially in the chaotic world of finance, where we just need to be calm sometimes.
All right, but this sounds like a lot of work. How do I start building this stillness into my life? Asking for our listeners, I mean.
That's a great question, no matter who you're asking for, and here's how. You start small.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Just take 5 minutes.
Yep, just 5 minutes of quiet reflection each day.
And this makes you a better investor?
It makes you a better everything. A better husband, wife, investor, teacher, friend.
And is 5 minutes enough?
Oh, to start, yeah. I mean, we're keeping it simple. Do something, right?
Then gradually increase it as you become more comfortable?
You bet, DT. In fact, it's not unusual for people to spend hours a day. If you add up all their little minutes of getting ready and taking breaks to recharge.
Hours a day? That's one heck of a lot, my liege.
It is, yeah, but studies have shown that some people spend as many as 6 hours a day just watching TV. So a bit of that can be meditating toward good financial decisions instead.
Oh, okay, well, that's easy.
Well, no, it's not easy, especially if you're tired, but it's worth it. You'll be amazed at how those moments of stillness lead to insight and even a sense of happiness.
En la calma está la fuerza.
That's right, me. In stillness lies strength.
It's a compelling idea, I'll admit. But how do I measure its impact?
Oh, there's a couple of ways to go about that, DT. But hey, a straightforward measure would be to track your thoughts alongside your financial outcomes.
Keep a journal.
You're full of good ideas, Jessica. DT, you can use it to reflect on moments where you practiced stillness and how your decisions unfolded. You might be astonished to find connections that weren't visible in the chaos.
You really mean it, huh? This stillness is gonna get me rich?
Well, not rich perhaps, but definitely more enlightened. Stillness isn't just about external quiet. It's about finding that inner calm. I've learned that financial peace often starts with mental clarity.
Uh-huh. So you're saying that cultivating stillness can help us conquer financial turmoil?
You have the banana, DT. That's where the tagline comes in. Financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Hey, thanks. If we approach financial matters with a mindset of peace and positivity, the noise around us lessens.
Sounds good in theory, John, but the practical application is where the rubber meets the road. You talk about wealth building, and that's good. Let's be sure to fit stillness in.
Good thought. I've had that, and others will too. Let me break it down in the context of the knowing-doing gap. Remember how that gap describes how we may know what we should do but struggle to put it into action?
Okay.
So first, we must be aware of our beliefs, and we act on thoughts from thinkers like Bob Proctor, who said, like we said before, thoughts are things.
Quoting Napoleon Hill, who was quoting Ella Wheeler Wilcox.
Yeah, and people get better with money by this.
Oh yeah. Reflecting quietly allows us to recognize underlying thoughts that shape our financial behaviors.
And this reflects in our day-to-day money stuff.
Yes, it does. Dr. Joseph Murphy reminds us, your subconscious is the still, small voice that can manifest your wishes. When we clear our mind through stillness, we make room for those positive intentions.
Okay, let's say I take action then. Now what?
Now, reflection.
He said reflectively.
Ow!
You okay?
Yeah, I just got smacked by reflection there.
Okay, well then you'll be fine. For now though, remember that the French say,
La réflexion est la lumière de l'esprit.
which is reflection illuminates the mind. Thank you, Lee. Regularly reflect on your financial decisions, assess the outcomes, and learn from them.
Learn from them? In tranquil woods, where whispers stem?
Well, that's one place, but really, you can do it anywhere that soft shadows dance like a silent gem.
You mean where the world retreats with its busy hymn?
Yeah, there, or in nature's calm, where we find our hymn.
Oh, that's a clever transition. Hey, with hearts aligned, the skies turn blue.
We can embrace all things, just like.
Break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es buenísimo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too.
Can I sample that?
Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
我们回来了. That's we are back.
Yeah, back to get all frou-frou about money again.
Oh, not at all. It's the concept of stillness in finance. Yeah, it might seem counterintuitive.
Understatement of the year. And the year's not even half over.
Yet it carries immense power. In a world that thrives on incessant motion, taking a moment to breathe can clarify our financial aspirations and strategies. You just have to find the ideal frequency for you.
Sounds like a time and motion study or something like that.
Well, it does share a little bit with that, but when it helps you get done many times what you would have, and with less effort, you'll be happy, I promise.
Are you going to tell us how to cultivate this approach?
I am, Jessica, and thanks for the reminder.
Glad to be of service.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, everybody. Get ready for some more journaling, hoo-ah.
Yes, indeed, and staying positive. Do gratitude journaling. That's one way to do your cultivation.
I told you this would be frou-frou.
It is, if you know it and don't do it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Consider starting a gratitude journal where you list your financial achievements, no matter how small. This practice not only cultivates the positive mindset we need, but it also helps recognize opportunities to make things even better.
Yeah, okay. What else?
Well, you can be mindful about your spending.
Oh, sure. I have the time to evaluate every purchase.
Yeah, you do. It's perspective. If you have time to make the purchase and time to earn the money, then you have time to do the evaluation too. And then you can decide if it aligns with your values and financial goals. By doing this, you prevent impulse buys and you support a budget that reflects what genuinely matters to you.
Yeah, you bet. I'm convinced now. I could even consider a waiting period before I buy big stuff.
And one more thing.
D'accord.
One more thing, all right.
Do some regular financial check-ins with someone else or just with yourself. During these check-ins, reflect on what practices are serving you well and where improvements are needed. By creating this habit, you remain engaged and aware of your financial landscape.
I like that. It's that habit thing again.
Yes, it is, DT. Approach investing with a mindful attitude and create good habits.
Instead of just following trending stocks.
Or succumbing to market FOMO, focus on winning by both knowing and doing.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
No robots were harmed in the making of this podcast.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries.
Part of the Sonic Boom Network, where we do the hard work for you.
And Rishi helps our hen bake the bread by giving credit to these great people.
Techno King, John Brandy.
That's me.
Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas.
And that's me.
Fact Checker, Napoleon Bonaparte. Social Manager, Abraham Lincoln. Always on the internet's inner tubes whatever. Media Expert, Augustus Caesar. Psychologist, William James. Sound Designer, Les Paul.
Thank you for inventing multitrack.
Language Consultant, Leah, the French do-your-own research lady.
Cough, cough, cough.
Videographer, Ertaman Koshki.
Lights, camera, action.
Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources and of course Napoleon Hill. Additional inspiration and thanks go to Steve Jobs, Joseph Allen, Charles Darwin, Leonardo da Vinci, Henry David Thoreau, Abigail Adams, Jonathan Livingstone Seagull and the Stick Figure.
Quick disclaimer here. Many sentences contained in our podcasts are of a very dangerous length and were performed by highly trained vocal practitioners. On no account should inexperienced life forms attempt to imitate them without proper medical, jaw, and lung supervision.
And before we forget, you can also subscribe to both podcasts, join the community, and benefit from many of our techniques, including financial advice, patience, practice, and even podcast production for your ideas. Of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff. And all those clickable links are in the show notes. Hey, Emma, do you, Samantha, and Daniel want to tell us a bit more about this stuff?
Sure, the artificial intelligence or AI voices that you hear in our work are offered up by Google, Amazon Polly and OpenAI. They don't sponsor us yet, but we love what they do and we just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us through our network. We happily consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
That sounds like a really old school computer voice. I'll call it Zarvox. It's definitely not Samantha, or any other modern AI.
Yeah, I'm not feeling well today.
Our music comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simonados. Thanks also to AI MuseNet, Suno.ai, Audio.com, Phrase.io, 11 Labs, and Ace Studios. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canoe CG, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sand Emotions, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.